IS-6 is finally out and I've been playing it a ton on CN trying to figure it out. Being illiterate made that somewhat difficult, but I reckon I now have a good enough grasp on it to start talking about it. This video will go over what's changed from previous ISs and the new mechanics. There's been a constant increase in player control since IS-3. First you could move vertically, then you could change nodes into other types, and in IS-5 you could reroll almost every node, and you could even choose what you wanted the reroll to be. The degree of freedom kind of peaked with IS-5, and as expected we can no longer reroll nodes in IS-6. Can still travel vertically though. Scaling back player control was something they had to do, both because there was nowhere to go from IS-5 and because IS-5 gave you so much control over the RNG, it's arguable if it's even a roguelike at all. The boss keys are completely reworked as well. Instead of having multiple random boss keys you may or may not find across the run, there is a single boss key that takes you to the casino dimension. You can enter it multiple times throughout the run. Floor 1 and 4 have guaranteed nodes to it, while you have to actively path into it on floor 2, 3 and 5. The nodes inside are all unique to the boss key and can't be found anywhere else. You have shops, but they take life point instead of money, which nodes need you to fulfill some condition before they give you 1 or 2 items. The fights inside function like armies in reclamation algorithm. Anything you kill stays dead on your next try. You can't lose lives in these fights, but one leak ends the fight. Every time you enter this boss key, you get a set number of movement points, depending on what node and floor you enter it from. On most runs you will not have enough movement to fully explore it, so you have to decide how to spend the limited resources. Do you avoid fights and get the free stuff? Take the fights now to power up early, but risk losing them and wasting your movement? Or save them for later when you have a stronger squad and can guarantee the win? These are things you need to consider depending on how your run is going. Oh, and finally we have the casinos. Downtime nodes are only found inside the boss key, and each of them are run by some Sui sibling to scam you out of money. Except Link. Apparently Link sucks at math and made a Noah the Magic game. It's a wheel of fortune where the most likely outcome is more spins. 938 items. I'm assuming this will be patched at some point. Infinite recursion aside, the casinos also have some unique items that you can buff up by gambling in the casino. For example, Shu gives you a stacking 10% max health, going up to 100% max health. The buff system has also been completely replaced. We used to carry around single-use buffs until we needed them in IS-4 and IS-5. Now we have more gambling. You carry around 10 coins that give various buffs in your pocket. Every time you enter a new floor, you randomly pull out 3 coins and gain their buffs. There are a ton of coins with all sorts of combat and non-combat buffs, and almost every fight and shop will have new coins to replace the ones you have. Despite this, the coins are never actually used. When activated, you gain the buff until the end of the floor. Once you leave the floor, either by going to the next one or entering or leaving a boss key, the used coin goes back in your pocket and they are rerolled again. You get 1 free reroll per floor, and can reroll as many times as you want by consuming the vertical movement resource. This is great when you have some very strong coin and want to enjoy the experience of not getting it 10 times in a row. It took me a bit of time to figure out how to work with the coins, but the buffs from them turned out to be insanely strong. Some coins are only buffs while others also give debuffs. Most of the debuff coins are crazy, like minus 65 redeployment time for minus 2 deployment limit, or 25% reduced operator health, and all enemies have 45% less HP. A single coin can be stronger than the buffs we had in IS-5, and you have at least 3 of them active at once. They can also give you a ridiculous amount of hope and ingots. Finally, for the new mechanics, the pink slips. Because the boss key is a giant casino, people who aren't degenerate gamblers aren't allowed in, meaning normally your operators can be used for fights in the casino dimension. So how do we rectify this? We need to corrupt these innocent souls. Anytime you get a recruit, you have the option to save it for later. That recruit can then be used on certain nodes to recruit operators at a reduced hope cost. This also gives them a pink degenerate gambler mark of approval, and they can now be used in the boss key fights. While the main point of this is using them in the casino realm, I don't want to understate the hope reduction. It affects both recruits and promotions, and you can use it to quickly get a giant mass of 6 stars and roll over everything. The new IS welfare is a 6-star summoner. Radiant can only be leveled up by playing IS and completing certain challenges to level up her skills. While not interacting with the new gimmicks like Tin Man did, she is very suited to fighting the enemies in IS-6, and the reduced hope cost makes her very much worth using. Most of the enemies in IS-6 are from the Chinese event, so they have a bunch of hit count gimmicks, and the IS-6 unique enemies summon these sticky notes that prevent operators from using their skills. They are also hit count based. Have I emphasized this point enough yet? Bring hit count operators. That's about it for the new stuff I've noticed. I should probably mention that a lot of items have been removed. No more King's Relics or Hands, for example. A ton of old items have been changed. Those books that reduce the DP cost of a certain class have been buffed, and they now give different effect for different classes. While the overall power level is down, Link's math accident notwithstanding, you can still have super strong runs. It just takes a bit more than abusing the Wamp now. It has everything I wanted out of IS-6. A change in direction after IS-5 pushed that vision to the limit, and a bunch of new gimmicks to play around with. That's it for now. I'll make a few more IS-6 videos on more specific topics soon enough.